Let's go back to 1991. In Indian cricket, there was really only one dynasty. For one team winning the Ranji Trophy, the biggest prize in the country, was basically an annual tradition. But that year, one man and his team of underdogs, well, they decided to challenge that legacy, and in doing so, they gave us one of the greatest finals ever played. And I mean, the matchup couldn't have been more of a mismatch. On one side, you had Mumbai, the undisputed kings with a jaw-dropping 40 titles to their name. And on the other, Haryana, a team of scrappy, determined challengers who had never, not once, lifted the trophy. It was the ultimate David versus Goliath story, right on cricket's biggest domestic stage. You know, to really get the scale of what Haryana was up against, you have to understand the aura of Mumbai cricket. They weren't just a team, they were an institution. Playing them was intimidating enough, but facing them in a final, at their home ground, the legendary Wankhede Stadium, that was considered an almost impossible task. It was their fortress. And when you look at the teams on paper, the difference was just stark. Mumbai's lineup was stacked with legends. We're talking Ravi Shastri, Sanjeev Sharma, Anjan Baldwin. They had incredible depth and experience. Haryana, on the other hand, had a ton of heart and one singular icon. The legendary all-rounder himself, Kapil Dev. Pretty much everything rested on his shoulders. So the final starts, and right away it looks like it's going exactly how everyone predicted. The champions, Mumbai, they bat first, and with their usual confidence, they post a really solid total of nearly 300. In a high-pressure final, that is a huge score, and it immediately put the challengers from Haryana on the back foot. The script was playing out perfectly. So now it's Haryana's turn to bat, and you could just feel the immense pressure of the moment. I mean, they weren't just chasing a score on the board. They were chasing the entire weight of history and Mumbai's massive reputation. That dream of a first title was in sight, but the Wankhede fortress was really starting to feel impenetrable. And yeah, that pressure, it showed, big time. The Haryana batting lineup just crumbled. They couldn't build partnerships, couldn't really handle the moment, and they were all out for just 208 runs, a huge shortfall from Mumbai's total. It was a really disappointing start that put Mumbai firmly in the driver's seat. Now, because they were so far behind, Mumbai enforced the follow-on. This means Haryana had to go right back out and bat again, immediately. Let me tell you, that is a psychologically crushing moment in cricket. You've just failed, and now you have to go right back out there and try to save the entire match. For Haryana, that dream of a first-ever title was fading and fast. And if you thought it couldn't get any worse, it did. The second inning started just as disastrously as the first. The top-order batsmen failed again, and before they knew it, Haryana was in deep, deep trouble at 100 for 5. 5 of their best batsmen were already out. The match looked all but over. Mumbai was closing in for the kill. And then, at the absolute worst possible moment, the ultimate blow. The one man who could, maybe, just maybe, pull off a miracle, their captain, their inspiration, he was at the crease. And then this happened.
Kapil Dev is dismissed. The stadium just erupts. It was the final nail in the coffin. With their leader gone, any tiny glimmer of hope was just gone. The match was over. Haryana's dream was dead. Or so it seemed.
But you know what they say about sports, right? It ain't over till it's over. And in one of the most dramatic turns of events you'll ever see in cricket, destiny decided to step in. That dismissal of Kapil Dev, that moment that seemed so final, well, was it? Because the celebrations in the field were suddenly cut short by the umpire's signal. A signal that would completely change the course of this final and honestly etch it into cricket folklore forever. The umpire had called a no ball. It's simple, really. The bowler had overstepped the line, making the delivery illegal. And the most important rule of a no ball, a batsman cannot be out. Kapil Dev was not out. He had just been given a second life, and he was about to make Mumbai pay for it. What happened next was just breathtaking. I mean, this wasn't about survival anymore. This was a full-blown counterattack. Given that second chance, Kapil Dev decided to take the fight directly to the champions, right in their own backyard. It was one of the most fearless, dominant displays of batting you will ever see. Just look at these numbers. He didn't just rebuild the innings, he tore Mumbai's entire bowling attack to shreds. He single-handedly turned absolute desperation into complete domination, smashing the ball everywhere. 163 runs, not out. with 8 sixes and 23 fours. It was an innings for the ages. And this just shows you the scale of that turnaround. I mean, look at this. First innings, a paltry 208. Second innings, led by Capel, a massive 429. They more than doubled their score. This wasn't just a comeback, it was a complete resurrection, led by the genius of one man. So what did all of that mean? It meant that when the dust finally settled, Haryana had set Mumbai an almost unbelievable target. The champions, who just hours ago were cruising towards their 41st title, now had to chase a mountain of 358 runs to win. The script had been completely flipped. The hunters had become the hunted. All right, so here we are, the final act of this incredible drama. Mumbai, the unbeatable champions, now facing a massive target on the final day, in their own fortress, to keep their crown. All the pressure was now squarely on them.
And look, Mumbai fought hard. They're champions for a reason, they always do. But the sheer weight of that massive target, combined with the pressure from a Haryana team that was now overflowing with belief, it just proved to be too much. One by one, their legendary batsmen fell, and the fortress began to crumble.
And then it happened. The moment of history. Haryana had done the impossible. They had beaten Mumbai at the Wankhede to win the Ranji Trophy for the very, very first time. The underdogs had triumphed, completing one of the most stunning turnarounds in the history of sports. And really, that's why we still tell this story today. It's such a powerful reminder of what's possible. The 1991 Ranji Final wasn't just another cricket match. It was proof that no matter how daunting the odds, no matter how certain defeat might seem, a single moment of luck and the incredible will of one extraordinary person can, in fact, change history.